Hey everybody, Josh RV Nerd here with Bish's RV, hanging out down at Modern Trailer today in Anderson, Indiana, which might sound funny. But, in case you hadn't heard, Modern Trailer's joining the Bish's RV family, so we get to expand our coverage to a whole bunch of stuff like this that we haven't had a chance to put on our channel before. If you like things like that, make sure you hit that like button on our video, subscribe if you're new with us, and let's dive in here. This is the 293 rear kitchen Springdale, which is just, it's a very common floor plan that everybody does, especially in the stick and tin world, but they found a way to do things a little bit differently, which I really like. Most builders in this class, they're like, you want a TV? Go get your own TV. I don't care. They not only give you a TV, but it's like a good sized one, and it's on a swing arm mount, so it can face either the seating in the slide or those free floating recliner chairs that can kind of twist and shout around if you want. So it looks like a neck wrecker entertainment center, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. They give you the ability, at least on a rainy day, to kind of get through, you know. This is one of the only stick and tins ever created in the existence of history that has a vaulted ceiling system. Keystone's actually the brand that invented that first and foremost, and it gives the camper a nice big open look and feel. And while there is still a high level budget sensitivity here, they brought some really good smart features. This thing, amazing kitchen space. The bedroom has a virtual walk-in closet. It's, at least you call it, I guess, a reach-in closet. I don't want to call it a reach closet because then HR is going to be on the phone with me. Hang on, I got a call coming in. Yeah, that was HR calling. And sometimes if you're new at this, if you're still shopping, like, there's all these different campers, and you know they all say that they're the best, and every time I talk to another salesperson, they always say the camper they happen to sell happens to be the best one. Funny how that works, isn't it, folks? Use a floor plan like this. Even if it's not the floor plan that you want to buy, you can use a floor plan like this as a little bit of a litmus test to determine if it's a brand that kind of has the DNA and the features you want, because it's easy to compare against other brands when you can line them up against the same floor plan. So what separates the Springdale? That vaulted ceiling is a big part of the equation right there. I think the Springdales built out west might not have a vaulted ceiling. It's been a long time. I need to check on that. So that might be a thing for you to look at. The Springdale in your backyard out west might look a little different. I don't know. Anyway, that vaulted ceiling, because it has a 6.5-foot sidewall like a Cherokee, but it kind of has the open feel inside of like a Catalina, a J-Flight, a Salem Wildwood, something like that. They just accomplished it a different way. And they went with the Ahsoka Tano white lightsaber lighting instead of the Obi-Wan Kenobi blue lightsaber lighting. So kind of keep that one in mind right there. This is something else they do I like. Instead of the pedestal style table, they've maintained their elliptical base dinette, which gives us a free floating folding table that you could use in front of the sofa, in front of the recliners. You could bring it over like extra counter space, although in this floor plan, I don't think you need to do that. You could take it outside. You could have a picnic with the thing. I mean, you know, you can do a lot with it. 12-volt compressor fridge has pretty much become standard fare through a lot of the RV market, but I do want you to know what you're looking at. That looks to be yeah, it's a larger 10 cubic foot variety, not an 8. And holy crap, man, call the Batman. We've got some wicked counter space in this one. It's one of the things I love. I've always called a rear kitchen an entertainer's floor plan, because if you like to have people over, or if you're going to spend a lot of time in it and you need like a real kitchen, this is the way to go, because it's very social seating. Like, everything kind of, you know, is based around the kitchen. The kitchen's the anchor of the floor plan, and the rest of the seating is extremely social. Even though this floor plan has a TV and it could be functional, I think the primary focus is still talking. It's still a couple people making eye contact with one another, having a conversation. If that's the kind of camping you're looking for, this might be a good one. But nothing says that's the only way to use this one. I love that big campside picture window too. That's something that a lot of people constantly ask me, you know, why aren't there more windows on the campsite of the RV? Well, this one definitely solves for that scenario right there, which is nice because in this class, in the stick and tin category, not only do very few of them have all slide open venting windows, but very few of them also are still maintaining sliding side windows. So the side of that super slide maintaining window coverage there. Now, they are still using carpet through the slide. Some people like that. Some people like a nice warm spot for their toes at the end of the day. And some people absolutely hate. What the what? I didn't notice that until just now. One slide side breeze window, not two? Well, I'm going to have to head scratch on that one. With respect, I don't like that. I would rather have had an extra window there. And I hope you appreciate when I point out stuff like that. Like here, let's do some more housekeeping. The specific RV we're looking at actually has a couple anomalies on it. If you look closely at the contact paper on the woodwork of this entertainment center, you're going to see that this one has a couple peel spots. It's a known open recall that we are getting addressed and getting this RV resolved. But there was a period where the glue that Keystone was supplied with in their cabinet shop was bad glue. And they had no way of knowing that until the crap started peeling. But Keystone's stepping up and they're spending the money and they're correcting that. So, you know, again, we're looking at an eyesore right here, but that isn't something you should expect when you take one of these home. Now, at a glance, again, it looks like a 90-degree neck wrecker entertainment center. But keep in mind, those are recliners and they're not bolted down to the floor. So if you want to pivot those things around, there's absolutely nothing that says you can't do that. And I'm kind of curious, what's your input here? They went with a bigger window, but no storage overhead. But I don't know that I'm mad at it. I kind of like the open feeling because I think when we get back here in the kitchen, you'll see there's already plenty enough storage. By the way, something else here. Some of your outlets, quite a few of them actually, have that yellow sticker telling us that this RV is prepped for an inverter. So if you choose to add an inverter, like that outlet right there, could be inverter powered, which is kind of cool. And again, if you're standing in the kitchen, if you're serving food, if you're prepping food, or if you're standing here at the sink, like the view doesn't suck. It's actually still really nice, really comfy. Now it's got that half-sized roll-away dish drying rack. If we get that out of the way there, you see that is a big farm sink. It does have a smaller oven. A lot of campers, I'm not really aware of any camper in this class that does have a bigger oven. Although the drawer space in this one is not terrible. Not to mention your overhead cabinet space is pretty good. And there is a dedicated pantry kind of squirreled away in that corner behind the 12-volt compressor fridge. Now there's not drawers to get to the storage under the dinette or a door or anything. That is a little thing that I'd probably DIY a solution at home. But again, with that table free floating, you can move it around. That folds down to a sleeper. There's storage below the sofa. The sofa folds into a little sleeper. You know, you got a lot of different kind of options, swaptions, things like that. And like we saw previously in our floor plan in a flash, if you are stuck inside on a rainy day and you don't want to wreck the neck, the entertainment center can twist and shout around where, depending on where you're sitting or standing or whatever, it doesn't have to be a bad experience necessarily. Now, that's not going to work for everybody. I've yet to find the RV that does work for everybody, but I thought I'd give you the ideas there. Now, some people, they don't care about these recliners right here. They'd rather pull those out and do something else with it. You totally could in this floor plan. That's one of the cool things about it because, again, they're not bolted down to the floor. Moving up here to the bathroom area. Let me swing this open. I kind of was going to look down, then I decided to look up. This wall's blank. It's as bare as my butt the day I was born, but it would be a great spot, I think, for a towel rack. They are using the smaller vent fan here, which pretty much everybody does, although Cherokee's pretty good about a big fan in there. The space around the toilet, though, is fan-frickety-tastic. There's tons of room around that sucker. Even if you're a person of larger stature, I think you're going to do just fine in there. You may have noticed they are using floor-vented heating. For some folks, they don't like that. That's a deal breaker. Some people don't care. Sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't. But you get the point. There's different RVs, different strokes, different folks, and I want you to understand what each of these has and what each of them doesn't have. This one has, with that vaulted ceiling, very solid headroom in the shower. That I was really happy to see. And that is a nice rectangular shower where you're going to have some decent elbow room in there. Although, like most RV showers, those little corner shelves, they're good for about jack and squat typically. I don't even know if I'd trust them with a shower bear. But hey, that's just me. And you might notice Keystone's really cool about this most of the time. They tend to fully frame in pretty much all their doorways, like they're fully studded out, so that you don't have that peekaboo, I smell you door. Some people don't care about that. Some people really don't like it. Now, I had to eyeball this thing like 3 times and then squint twice, but I finally laid on it. That is a Camp Queen bed, but with the high level of color contrast, it looked bigger than it actually was with that light colored bedspread. Could you put a true queen bed in? Yes, there is room, but you're going to have to crawl over the mattress because then the bed's going to come all the way to that sliding door. So that might be a problem for you. But again, I'd like to point that out just so you know what you're getting into. Now, more of those inverter prepped outlets on both sides of the bed, and just so that you can see it, you do have TV hookups up here in the corner. Not on the opposing wall, though, because that's a pair of sliding doors. We'll see those in just a second. First of all, you can get these built with 50 amp service, and that means they can be second air capable, which is exactly like we're looking at here today. And now, I'm conflicted. I'm conflicted on this. I like it when a manufacturer tries something different. But that second shelf looks like it's down a little close to the bed. Let's check that out. Yep. I was afraid of that. So that's a little bit of a headbanger. But that shelf does, like, it's fixed in place, yes, but we could remove that, or you could, or maybe you don't care. But it is open face. They do have lips on those shelves, by the way. Not like Keith Richards' lips or Steven Tyler, but, you know, enough of a ledge right there that if you had some kind of wicker basket storage or something, it would probably do the trick for you. I don't know. I'd be kind of curious. What do you think about that arrangement right there? While you're leaving me a comment, let me get you inside looking at the storage here in the bedroom. You got symmetrical hanging closets on both sides. The bed does not have easy lift gas struts, so you're going to want to kind of keep that in mind right there. You got to kind of lift the mattress and then shove the plank up into it, although we could probably add some struts for you. I will say, though, this is the best feeling mattress in my personal estimation of any stick and tin camper I've ever climbed in before, so kudos to them there. And then we have that kind of walk-in closet around the corner. Giving you a quick peek inside that, you might notice, while I could fit in there without banging my head this time, my dad bod was just a little bit too big to completely vanish from sight, no matter how hard I push. But again, that's kind of almost a virtual kind of walk-in closet right there. Now, this floor plan has a lot going for it. I think this floor plan is best used at a destination because when you close the slide for road mode, well, it gets awful tight in here, like you see here. And as a result, it means that we flat lose that refrigerator access back there. But this RV has two methods of potentially giving that to you. So first of all, this is a rack and pinion slide out. And what that means is that it can be deployed partially without screwing it up. Most slide systems out, well, about half the slide systems out there can. Like a Schwintek slide is the most common type of slide that cannot be partially open. So we're half open, half closed. You can see that right there through that the single slide side breeze window, and that can allow us to get back here. So if you just need to get into the camper real quick to grab a bite to eat or something like that and then close it back up, you can do that. But with the inverter prep and this RV having a little miniature outside refrigerator, it's actually not impossible to never have to push this slide and still have some functional refrigerator access while you are rolling down the road. And I was just kind of curious. Not too bad. So I got a quick question for you. There's this little sticker on the kitchen countertop over here telling you when you buy a Keystone RV, any Keystone RV, you get like a 1 year's membership to a bunch of different apps. One of those is something that, like, if you plug in your RV's dimensions, it can help you GPS route and avoid like a can opener, roof breaking bridge, low clearance area, something like that. And that's neat. Real talk. Is there a single person whose decision to purchase an RV is swayed by app memberships like that? And there's no shame in this either way. I suspect the answer is probably not, but I'd like to hear from you. If two RVs were neck and neck and one had apps included with it, didn't mean to do that, and one did not, would you make it rain on the one that included the apps because of that factor alone? I'm curious. Now, if we start talking towing, I think when a lot of people look at one like this, they're going to say, "Oh yeah, my half-ton will take that." You know, maybe. Here's why I say that. Tip to tail, tongue to bumper, it's a couple inches over 33 feet total. That's a lot to put behind a lighter duty vehicle. It could get pushed around the road, and the longer the trailer, the more sway that is likely introduced. That's something not a lot of people talk about. The length of the trailer versus the wheelbase of your vehicle. The longer your vehicle, the less sway you're going to also organically have. Again, at 8,800 pounds total maximum gross vehicle weight, It's within potential of a lot of half-tons, late models with tow packages, but not all of them. And even then, it's putting a hefty strain on the old girl. So if you got an older half-ton and the old gray mare just ain't what she used to be, well, then this might not be the right fit for you. But if you got a pretty hefty half-ton and you're around some pretty modest flatland terrain like where I'm from, in the Michiana area, Michigan and Indiana, a good half-ton could do the trick. You want to go long distance, you want to go through mountains, I wouldn't do it. So I'd rather keep you safe, and we can find you something else that might work, because Springdale makes plenty of other models, not to mention all the other thousands of floor plans we have available. Power tongue jack up front, currently coming with two 100 amp hour lithium batteries, although that was originally intended to be temporary. They really weren't even expecting to still be doing those today, but here they are. I wouldn't be surprised if those vanished in the 24 model year update, but we're not there yet. We do have magnet holdbacks that are actually latching and locking on these baggage doors, which is pretty darn handy. Good front storage capacity here, and like all Keystone RVs, you have some level of solar package. This outfitted with Solar Flex 200, the base package that's available on every single Keystone RV. So up top on the roof, you've got a 200 watt solar panel. It's actually all the way in the back of the RV. Then you have a 15 amp MPPT Victron charge controller up front there, which for a basic camper, that's some pretty quality hardware. Now what's funny is you look at this, and the awning almost looks like it's a little bit small. Let me get that open here for you real quick. It's not a terrible small awning. It's just, this is a pretty big camper, and there's a lot of sidewall as a result. So not a bad awning, it just doesn't look as good as maybe it actually is. So I guess do with that information what you will. Man, if you want campsite windows, this is the model for campsite window coverage. But as you're seeing here, if it is lit up inside the RV, you are putting on a little bit of a show for the neighbors, so make sure you got your pants on. I don't know, unless you're at a clothing optional resort, and to each their own. Oh, that is cool. Okay, so first of all, quick little housekeeping note. These chairs have nothing to do with this camper. They just have this nicely set up on display, and I didn't want to tear apart their display that they put a lot of time and effort into, so keep in mind, we can get you camping chairs and stuff. But inverter prep run to outside outlets like this? That is extremely uncommon, and I really, really like that. So if you want to slap an inverter on this thing and have some function of some of your household outlets while just on battery power, she's kind of capable of doing it. Now, the floor plan that we're looking at has, again, a couple anomalies. Currently, as they're built today, they have a ladder. Or at least ladder prepper mounts or whatever. This one was built, this specific trailer that we're looking at today was built during this funky little window where they hadn't done that yet. So there's no ladder on this specific camper, nor is there ladder prep on this specific camper. But the ones built today and moving forward, that will not be an issue. So kind of keep that in mind. Again, we're looking at a little bit of an outlier here. I just want to do some housekeeping there. Now, we've got this little mini fridge under that rear kitchen, or on the inside of the RV. There's a corner that you can't do anything with, you can't get to. Well, they used it outside, and that is actually plugged into an outlet that is run to the inverter prep. So if you want to add an inverter to the RV, that can operate in transit, which can solve some of that travel access dilemma that we talked about on the inside of the RV. Now, a couple things here, and we'll wrap up and let you go. Power stabilizers, standard on all these, so everything is push-button simple. Jacks, awnings, all that kind of stuff. And underneath, not only is it enclosed, but it is also forced air heated to give you a little more comfortable extended season function. So once again, thanks for tuning in here. If you'd like to see where we have some of these parked and what we're asking on a given day, check those links in the video description, and I'll also leave you some links down there for similar floor plans from let's see here, J-Flight, Cherokee, Wildwood and Salem. Freedom Express has their own kind of cool rear kitchen, not too dissimilar from this. There's a bunch of different brands that build a layout like this. I'd kind of love it if you checked out one of those other videos and let me know which one would you go with if your money was on the line and why. And until next time, take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.